Mythology was extremely important to the men and women of ancient Greece. They worshipped the gods and goddesses, wrote poems about them, and based much of their artwork off of them. The people of Greece looked to the gods and goddesses for help in all aspects of their lives, including health, architecture, and war. Reading about Greek mythology informs people quite a bit about the society of Greece itself, because the Greek gods were created by the people of Greece. Athena and Aphrodite are two of the most well-known goddesses from ancient Greek mythology. Athena is the goddess of war, strategy, and wisdom. She was never married or had relationships. Aphrodite is the goddess of love and beauty. She had many relationships and several children. Some similarities in their early lives include that they were both constantly interfering in others' lives, as well as the fact that they took great wraths onto those who disrespected them. Both goddesses' births were involved with the sea and are both daughters of Zeus. Athena's Roman goddess equivalent is to Minerva. Aphrodite's Roman goddess equivalent is to Venus. Their powers varied. Aphrodite could make anyone fall in love with her. In contrast, Athena transferred the beautiful Medusa into a monster with snakes for hair and eventually mounted her head onto her shield to intimidate enemies during battle. Representations of Aphrodite in early Greek art are fully dressed and without distinguishing features that differentiate her from other goddesses. She first attained individuality at the hands of the great 5th century BCE Greek sculptors. Perhaps the most famous of all statues of Aphrodite was carved by Praxiteles, the first full-scale female nude. It later became the model for Hellenistic masterpieces as the Venus de Milo, 2nd century BCE. Athena's association with the Acropolis of various Greek cities stemmed from the location of the king's palaces there. She was thought to have had neither marriage or offspring in her lifetime. She may have been described as a virgin originally, but virginity was attributed to her very early on, and the interpretation of the Apollos. As a war goddess, Athena could not be dominated by any goddess, including Aphrodite. Artworks of ancient times are still influential on countless cultures around the world today. Praxiteles' statue of Aphrodite of Knidos is one of the most influential pieces of Greek art and literary sources. It is the first female nude sculpture, and therefore it revolutionized the classic Greek art world. She contributes idealism of the female figure. She simplifies the beauty and strives for perfection. Overall, the sculpture of Aphrodite shows the never-ending, ever-growing search for the ideal female figure to strive for. Women had been depicted nude in earlier Greek artworks, such as poetry, but were typically slave girls. Because of this statue, beauty, and sensuality, the work was considered extremely erotic from the ancient world. Men were driven mad with desire for Venus, or Aphrodite. Although the sculpture was considered especially erotic, The depiction itself was not explicitly sensual. Aphrodite is simply caught in a moment of having just removed her clothing, ready to step into a bath. She moves to slightly cover herself, but doesn't seem too invested in shielding her nude body from the world.